Well, hello and welcome to Wood and What You Don't Need. And today we're going to talk about stamps. No, I was kidding. We're going to talk about a pocket watch like this one. But first, let me reorder my Russian stamps. Actually, my Soviet stamps from back in the 80s. You can see one, 1982, 1982.
This one might be older.
Can you read Russian? I just can read capital letters. This one for sure commemorates or celebrates some kind of peaceful agreement between the US and the Soviet Union. Hands shaken in 1988. And this one too celebrates some kind of, let me see if I can read.
Советская, советско-американская экспедиция.
Like an expedition, some kind of American Soviet expedition. And you see how these two men dressed in parkas are hugging each other, almost forming a single person, as we all human are, and we often forget about it. Well, why don't people go to expeditions together instead of, how to say it?
Killing each other?
So if you know Russian and you want to help me translate what was in those stamps, please do not hesitate to do that in the comment section. In the meantime, we will have a look at this beautiful watch from the former Soviet Union. And how do I know it's from the Soviet Union? Because I got it from the same uncle who brought to me these other three Soviet watches back in the mid 80s, and these are all made in the USSR. CCCP stands for SSSR, so the USSR, and you can see dedicated video reviews of these three watches in the channel, and I will leave links to the related video in the description box. You can see that it says CCCP, which means the USSR, the Soviet Union. So together with these three wristwatches came this pocket watch. And this pocket watch is a watch that I had serviced, despite the watchmaker telling me that it wasn't worth the money because the watch is not a quality watch. But I didn't care. And it has emotional value. It's from the Soviet Union, and I think it's safe to say that this one is in pristine conditions. So it just needed some opening up. As I was saying,
Because my very professional camera, which is my old iPhone 7, ran out of disk space because I have too many stupid videos recorded on it.
I was saying this watch has emotional value. It also what I would define as, well, horological historic value or historical horologic value.
So I'm sure someone in the comment section can tell me what's the most appropriate term.
Because of these two factors, emotional and historical / horological value, I decided to have this watch serviced despite the costs. In the end, it turned out that everything it needed was someone to open it up and maybe give it a drop of lube here and there, and it started running in a matter of seconds. And speaking of seconds, you can see that this watch has an hour hand, a minute hand, and a sub-dial here where the second hand is. This per se is something which is quite nice if you ask me. But let's have a look at the dial. Can you see the beautiful colors of this dial? It is very light green right in the middle, in the center, where the hour and minute hands are attached, and then it very quickly fades to a much darker and deeper green. As you can see, you have Roman numerals all around the dial, starting from 12 and going up, of course, to 11. But if you have a closer look, you will notice that in the outer portion of the circumference here, you have the 24 hours also. So 13, 14 for 2 p.m., 15 for 3 p.m., and so on and so forth, until the numbers reach 24 for midnight. And why don't we take a few measurements of this one? So we have an outer diameter of, let's see, 48.8 mil. With the crown is a bit more, of course, and it'll be something like 59.4 with the crown. A thickness of the watch of 12.5 mil. It's not much considering it also has the lid or the cap on. If we uncap it, the thickness will be of 11.3 mil. Let's see how much it weighs.
Now, before we continue, there's a question that I want to ask you.
For a weight of 90 grams, chain included, if we lift the chain, it will weigh in your pocket about 81 grams. Now the brand of this watch, I don't know much about this brand. It's Malinka. I don't know if it's Malika. As I told you, I can only read capital Cyrillic, block letters Cyrillic. So can you help me if you read Cyrillic? Translate and or discover what the brand name of this watch is. And maybe you can give me some information on the history of this brand, because I wasn't able to find any for the stupid reason that I don't know how to spell the brand name. Beautiful dial, as we were saying, because it not only has, we call it sunburst green color pattern, but also it has some decoration, some floral decoration. I hope it's visible. I'm really bad at lighting, but can you see this almost engraved pattern in the dial? So not only the beautiful color variations, but also this kind of an engraving or embossing with a floral pattern. A floral sort of pattern which is similar in a way to that of the lid. Is this called a lid or a cover? As far as pocket watches are concerned, I'm not an expert at all. And we find the same kind of pattern on the back. These look like leaves and or flowers. I think they're beautiful. The crown on this watch, we have wound it, haven't we? Also serves as a button for flipping open the lid or cap or cover in order to be able to see the time. Here we have more of a geometrical kind of pattern. Maybe you can hear the tick-tick. I will try to magnify the volume of the tick-tick of this watch, which is very sweet. We have its own a little metal chain with this kind of a buckle in order for you to fix your watch chain to some, I don't know, sartorial element of your jacket or trousers. I really don't know where you would secure this small buckle, but yeah, you have this. How long is the chain? I don't know. I would say about 10-inch chain or something like that. We don't really care about that, don't we? I don't know. I like this watch. I like the idea of an old style watch, which is in quite good conditions. I was saying before,
The watch is in pretty good conditions, and it has always been closed, so it has moved from drawer to drawer.
hence these scratches that we can see on its surface. It didn't come with a box or with a pouch, so it was always traveling around the drawers, and it got scratched by, I don't know, pens or pencils or stationary objects. For the rest, it is quite good. The crystal, which I think it is acrylic, so it's plastic crystal, is not scratched. I hope it's visible that it doesn't have any significant scratches. But this is a beautiful watch. Hours, minutes, and seconds. What else do you need? You wind it when you need it. When you forget, it will stop telling the time after a few hours. Reserve de Marche unknown. I don't know how long the charge will last on this one, but you tell me what you think about this watch in the comments below. I personally like it. I'm happy that I had it serviced. I'm happy that it's still running. I'm happy that it is from the Soviet Union, even though it isn't written anywhere. The other three watches had all written CCCP somewhere on the dial, usually in very small letters. This one does not, but I know that it came with them in the mid/late 80s. I think this is a beautiful one, and these are the bells. So that is it for today. I hope you liked this unusual pocket watch from the Soviet Union, and I'll see you on the next of Wooden What You Don't Need. Ciao.